I finished sanding all this Mandolin. I'm going to tape it off. I'm going to try and get some primer on it today. I don't know if I'll get a chance to put the color on it, but we're going to try to get it in primer. Just I go ahead and leave the top alone and leave the face of the peg head alone. I'm just basically going to paint the back of this. I'm going to change the color to yellow. And I know some of you just cringed when I said yellow. But it's my mandolin, ain't it? I don't ever plan on selling this thing or anything. So what we're going to do is, it does have some binding on it, so we're just going to tape it off along that binding edge. I'm trying really hard to get this on camera, but I don't know how much of it will. And anyway, so it's basically just taping it off. I start at one point. Get it on there the best I can. Line it up with the edge of that binding. Now, if you note, what I'm trying to do is hold the one end of the tape with one hand to help guide that as I go along. As you move it, you can see which way you got to go with your tape. And hopefully it all sticks as you go. Again, this is one of those little bit of a time-consuming deals. You just got to take your time with it. You can't rush it. And all I'm trying to do is keep the paint off the top and off the fretboard. So that's all I'm going to be taping off. So I'm going to continue on doing what I'm doing right now, and I'll bring you back in when I get that all done. And what I like to do is I got my cans of paint in some hot water at the moment because it's really cold outside still. It's not really ideal for spray painting, but I'm going to see if I can't get it in primer today. And then wait for another day where it warms up a little bit, and then we'll paint it. But anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with it right at the moment. And so I'm going to finish taping this off, and then once I get it all taped off and get ready to primer it, and I'll bring you back in, show you what it looks like after it's in primer. I'm using white primer, and it's a shellac-based primer, so that should seal that off nicely. I'm debating on the neck if I'm going to leave the neck natural wood right here where you play. A lot of players like that natural feel back here in the back, so I might do that. I'm also debating on the side of the fretboard here if I just want to tape off on that and just leave that natural wood shine through. I think that's what I'm going to do just for the GPs. And that's it. Hopefully. So anyway, alrighty, I'll bring you guys back in later on. Okay, as you can see, we're all sealed up, taped up, ready to put the primer on. I'll go check on my primer, and I'll bring it back in just a little bit when we start to spray it. All right, see you in a bit. All right, here's my cans of paint. I've had them warm it up here in the sink with some warm water. What that does, it'll help it to spray better out in cold conditions. So I'm going to take the white primer right now. Let me go ahead and wait until tomorrow to put the yellow paint on it. But anyway, just wanted to show that to you real quick. All right, here we go. We're going to go ahead and spray this down. Hopefully, quit dripping water all over it. Now, this primer I'm using is a, what was it? Zinsser Bullseye 123 primer. It's a shellac-based primer. And like I showed you a while ago, I like to warm them up in some warm water. It keeps that paint nice and warm. It's a little bit chilly out here. But this should seal it off from anything that's on there. Like I said, this thing's been painted like 4 different times. What I like to do is just kind of go around it, kind of give it a light coating first. I'm not really trying to cover anything. All I'm trying to do is get a tack coat going. As you go along, you'll be able to see some of your imperfections that you don't always catch when you're doing your final sanding. I got a spot up here on the neck I'm going to have to fix before we can paint it. At least this will get it in primer. Now I apply it a little heavier. Alrighty, I think that's gonna be it right now. I'm gonna let it tack up a little bit, and then I'm gonna take it in the house, let it set and dry. And like I said, there's one little spot up there on the neck I need to fix. And I really couldn't see it that well until, like I said, until you primer stuff, and you'll see it. But shoot, I kind of like the white. How about you? The old wifey here doesn't like the smell of the paint. Alrighty, I'll catch you all later on. Bye now. Alright, I went ahead and brought this in the house. A little bit warmer in the house. Thought it'd cure out a little faster. Need to do some, final sanding on it once it cures. Probably do that tomorrow. Like I said, I gotta fix this one little spot up here. But other than that, it looks pretty decent for what it is. Looks a whole lot better than it did. Anyway, that's it for today. I won't bring you back in on this again now until later on after it gets painted and stuff. Probably do a part 4 to this, something like that, part 3, whatever it figures out to be. So anyway, that's it for today on the mandolin. So it's been a fun little project so far. Can't wait to get her up and playing. It's been years since I've owned a mandolin. I think I was 12 or 13 years old and the last time I had a mandolin. I don't ever know whatever happened to that thing. I think my mom must have threw it away or something. I don't know. It was that old mandolin was made out of a gourd. Wish I had it today. It'd be kind of cool. Anyway, like I said, it's just a little cheapy mandolin that John from John's Corner in Prescott Valley, Arizona, gave to me several years ago. He gave it to me because I was going to make a mandolin, but needed parts for one. So he sent this to me for parts. And in the beginning, the top was warped on it a little bit, so it's been sitting. And when I got it, the neck was not broke, so I don't know what happened to that. I don't know how it got broke. But so anyway, so I just let it set, and thinking I was going to make this other little mandolin, and so I let it set. The top flattened back out on it, so I thought, shoot, all right, let's see if we can put it back together. So I just re-glued the neck. You've been watching the videos. I re-glued the neck, clamped it, sanded it all down, got all that brown and black paint that was real thick in some areas and real thin in other areas. So anyway, and like I said, I have this Rust-Oleum yellow paint. I'm thinking about painting it yellow. Anyway, we'll see what happens. All right, I'll talk at you later.